Hi there, flat towers. Today we're going to be taking a look at Roadmaster's diode wiring kit with flexible coil cable. When you flat tow your vehicle, you need some way to take the lights that's on your motorhome and make them visible here at the back of your vehicle. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do that, but it's important so that people behind you know your intentions when going down the road, because this vehicle that you're pulling behind your motorhome is likely obstructing some of the lights on your motorhome, so they may not be visible. So that's why it's important they're back here. Roadmaster's diode wiring kit is my personal favorite way to get lighting here at the back of the vehicle. It will take all the signals from your motorhome. You just plug into the 7-way connector and it will transfer those signals just like you would a trailer to the lights back here. But the diodes act as a one-way check valve that will allow those currents from our motorhome to illuminate our lights, but will not let it backfeed into the factory wiring here on our vehicle, so that way it can't cause any damage to its components. Now, some other options are like magnetic lights, there's bulb and socket, and there are other manufacturers that make diodes. But this is definitely one of the easiest ways. It's an economical solution, and Roadmaster has done a very good job in providing a very durable kit. Let's go take a quick look at the front before we get into some of the other kits. So in addition to the diodes and the wiring you need to get it installed on your vehicle, with this kit you also get a flexible coiled cable that is a 7-way on one side and a 6-way on the other side. 6-way is the most common connector for the front of a flat tow setup on your vehicle, and 7-way is the most common at the back of your motorhome. So that way we can easily make our connection. The connector does come included with this kit, so that way you have your 6-way connector here for your vehicle, and you get a mounting bracket with it as well. And it really does come with everything you need to get the lights operating. So now we're going to go ahead and head to the back. I'm going to pull down one of the Roadmaster diodes, and we'll take a look at that diode in a little bit further detail and also compare it to some of the other manufacturers' diodes. So here I have the Roadmaster diodes. I went ahead and pulled them down from the location I had them secured to. And we can see the diodes have a very thick metal heat sink all the way around, because these diodes, depending on the lighting that you have at the back of your vehicle, especially if you have incandescent lights on your vehicle, there can be quite a bit of current that is running through these circuits to our lights here. And that heat sink, the metal heat sink on here with the fins, helps to dissipate that heat, keeping it cool, so that way we can deliver the current we need without any interruptions or damaging our diodes or wiring or anything back here. They have adhesive backing on them as well, so you could stick it in place. This is a Jeep here, so we didn't want to just stick it on there. We could probably do some off-roading, go through some creeks and stuff, so we're going to use cable ties to secure it. But depending on the vehicle you're working on, if you don't put it through those rougher environments, the adhesive pads work out really nice that just come included with it. Here's another manufacturer's diodes. These are the ones from Demco that we offer here, and you can see they're puny in comparison to the Roadmaster ones. They have a plastic outer shell, and I mean, it's nice potted, I guess, it's all sealed up, but so is the Roadmaster one. And the Roadmaster comes with, again, those really durable heat dissipation heat sinks on there, and this has just got nothing on it. So the heat's just hopefully can radiate the way it needs to where it's installed. There also is no adhesive pad or anything on these, so I just don't prefer these over the Roadmaster. They're just so much better with a harder metal shell that dissipates the heat. The sticker also clearly labels the in and the out on our Roadmaster ones, and it is molded into the plastic here, but it can be difficult to see, and it's only on one side. So for installation purposes, I just really prefer the Roadmaster for the durability of their diodes. They're just a little bit easier to work with, and you get plenty of cable wire length as well as connectors to install everything with the Roadmaster kit. And while these are the ones from Demco, Blue Ox has some diodes that we offer here at etrailer, and they're very similar to the Demco in their shape and size and style. So I would still recommend the Roadmaster over those as well. So we've taken a look at a couple of the other manufacturers' diode kits, and by far Roadmaster's got the nicest diodes with those heat sinks, but there are some other options besides diodes. So here I have magnetic lights. So if you didn't want to have to tap into the vehicle's existing wiring and install these, it is a little bit of an initial setup to get diodes installed. I mean, most vehicles it's going to be somewhere between probably an hour and 2 hours of installation. Whereas these magnetic lights really don't have hardly any installation. They simply just stick to the vehicle. Now you could see where if you had something like this Jeep here, you're not going to be able to stick them on the roof because, one, there is no roof, and two, if it had one, it's likely a soft top that it's not going to adhere to with the magnetic surface. But you could put them on the side. You know, they will still work on a lot of different vehicles. It'll stick to the side, and that's still plenty close to illuminate and do what it needs to do. The problem with the magnetic lights though is, see this big jumble of wires here? Well, you got to undo this, run it up to the front and plug it into your motorhome every single time you want to flat tow. With the diode wiring kit that we installed, it has a connector at the front and you just plug it in. So hooking up and unhooking is extremely fast in comparison to magnetic lights with our diode kit. But again, the installation process of this is almost nothing. So if you're afraid of doing the install, if it's just not something you're into, or if you just want something quick for that you can move from vehicle to vehicle, magnetic lights are an awesome option for multiple vehicles. But if you're going to be hooking up and this is your main flat tow vehicle you're planning on for several years, I highly recommend the diodes to save you so much more time in the long run. And it's just a cleaner install. These things are going to be sticking here on the side. Most of the magnetic lights do have a surface on bottom to prevent scratches and abrasions, but over time this does get worn off and you could potentially get scratches. Whereas our diodes are just in there, that heavy duty heat sink's going to keep it working for many years to come. The last option is a bulb and socket kit where you physically drill a hole into the assembly and add your own bulb that you will then illuminate using your motorhome and run wiring up to. So it's a totally separate bulb that's separate from your vehicle, that's just for lighting up when you're hooked to the motorhome. And that's, to me, it's just as involved as an installation process as a diode kit, but you have to modify your taillight assembly. And when you modify that and put a hole in it, you do seal it up, but there's just another chance for leaks to occur in there, which can damage your components if you do get a leak. The extra bulb that you install in there, if it's an incandescent bulb, it is going to generate some heat. And if you have it close to certain components, you could get deformations. And a lot of states do require safety inspections where moisture, if it does enter in there, will fail a safety inspection. So I typically recommend to stay away from the bulb and socket kit, as the labor is just as intensive as diodes and the results are just less pleasing. And oftentimes on these new vehicles that have LED lights, there's not room inside the assemblies to put a bulb in there anyway. So if you drill that hole and find out it doesn't fit, you're in a real bad spot. Whereas our diode kit here works with basically any vehicle. And we've got a lot of video content here at eTrailer to show you how to install it on your specific vehicle. So you want to use our fit guide so you can find the most appropriate videos and parts for your vehicle. And that completes our look at Roadmaster's diode wiring kit with flexible coiled cable.